Hey, what's going on? I'm Matt O'Leary back with another video, and today's topic is going to be 3 underrated Jets on the defensive side of the ball. But before I get started, I just wanted to mention that you can follow me on social media at Matt O'Leary NY on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And if you're interested in a Fire Adam Gase shirt, get it down below. All right, so Jets are playing a little bit better. They won against a really awful team in the New York Giants, and I was feeling a little bit positive after the game on Sunday. Do I think they're going to go on some miracle run and make the playoffs? No, I think they're probably going to win about 4 or 5 games this year. But I wanted to talk about 3 guys in particular who I thought had a really good game on the defensive side of the ball that are underappreciated or underrated. So Jamal Adams isn't going to be on this list. We know that he is a very good player. I want to talk about 3 guys who maybe don't get talked about as much, but are actually pretty solid. First on my list is Jordan Jenkins. He had himself a very productive game against the New York Giants. He had 2 sacks in that game and now has 5 sacks on the year in 7 games. Last year, if you remember, he was tied for the lead in team sacks with 7. He was tied with Henry Anderson. So he has been extremely productive. 5 sacks in 7 games. I will 100% take that. For reference, on Sunday, Jordan Jenkins had as many sacks as Leonard Williams has over his last 20 games, just to put that into perspective. He has a 75.1 Pro Football Focus overall rating, which is pretty solid. He's not going to be a Watt brother off the edge. He's not someone who's going to get you double-digit sacks. He's just a solid edge setter, and you need guys like that on your team. He's like a rich man's Calvin Pace, to be honest with you. He's almost a better version, or at least a younger version, of what Calvin Pace was for the Jets for how many years. And his rookie deal is coming to an end, and he is absolutely someone you want to extend long term. I'm not saying you got to give him a ton of money. He's not going to cost you a lot, but he is absolutely someone you want to bring back and someone you want to have as a complementary piece on your defense. Next guy that I want to talk about is Foley Fatukasi. He played just 1 game last year. He was a 6th round pick. He was a million years old, so I didn't love the pick. But this year he has played so much better. He has been one of the better run defenders in all of football. He has 5 tackles for loss in just 7 games this year. 5 tackles for a loss. He's arguably been the Jets' best defensive lineman, considering that you had Leonard Williams, who's a top 10 pick, Henry Anderson, who you gave a ton of money to, and Steve McClendon, who's a veteran. That's kind of impressive that it's a second-year player who was drafted in the 6th round that's already 26 years old and played just 1 game last year. He has been extremely productive. Like I said, especially in run defense. His run defense grade is a 90.5, and his overall grade is an 89.6 from Pro Football Focus. That is great. He is real solid for this New York Jets team. He's not going to cost you a whole lot, and he's been underappreciated. Not that many people outside of Jets Twitter are really talking about this guy, but he's been a solid addition to this New York Jets team. Last guy I want to talk about is Nathan Shepard. He was a 3rd round pick from last year. He's played in just 2 games this year, but he was stellar against the Giants. He had a sack and 3 tackles for a loss. 3. He has an 80 overall Pro Football Focus grade, and that's another interior defensive lineman that has been more productive than Leonard Williams. And I don't necessarily want to turn this into a Leonard Williams bashing moment, even though it kind of is right now. But with those 2 guys, you have Nathan Shepard, a 3rd rounder, and Foley Fatukasi, who is a 6th rounder, outproducing a top 10 pick. So what does that go and shows you? It says that maybe drafting an interior defensive lineman, cough, Leonard, or Quinnen Williams in the top 10 isn't most ideal. And it 100% shows why Leonard Williams was expendable to this team. You now turn this guy into a 3rd and a 5th round pick. For Joe Douglas, that should mean something because he has shown proven history that he is a better drafter than what Mike Maccagnan was. That's not saying a lot because Maccagnan was one of the worst drafters I've ever seen, but he has the potential to turn those 3rd and 5th rounders into something worthwhile, a long-term future. Leonard Williams was not going to get paid here. You absolutely had to flip him. And these 2 guys, specifically Foley Fatukasi and Nathan Shepard, they're going to be really solid, cheap interior rotational pieces. That's all you need for your defense. You don't need that generational talent on the interior defensive line. I would much rather have a generational talent at corner or edge rush. That's where I want my talent on my defense. But for these three guys specifically, Jenkins, Fatukasi, and Shepard, I think they've had really productive years in 2019 and have been a little bit underrated. Let me know if you agree with me in the comments, or give me some other names that are underrated on the defensive side of the ball. Once again, I'm Matt O'Leary. Thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure to subscribe if you're new to the channel. Give the video a thumbs up. Talk to you guys next time.